Steven Stone is one of the strongest trainers in the world. Being a member of the Masters 8, Steven Stone has definitely showcased some of the greatest performances by a Pokemon trainer, as well as an unhealthy obsession with rocks. Steven has made significant contributions to the Pokemon anime, making him one of the most popular champions in the Pokemon universe. However, that hasn't always been the case, because in Advanced Generation, Steven Stone debuts in Granite Cave with hopes of collecting evolutionary stones. He literally spent months searching for these stones, and in the end he is rewarded with a Fire Stone, which for some reason is made to be a big deal. Steven spends the episode calming a horde of Aaron and blasting Team Rocket off with Aggron's Hyper Beam. The biggest question mark about this episode is that unlike in the original Ruby and Sapphire games, Steven is never mentioned to be the champion of the Hoenn region. He's just said to be a strong trainer, and then he sails into the sunset. In fact, in Diamond and Pearl, Wallace is revealed to be the champion of Hoenn, on top of already being a contest master, so Wallace has got all these amazing credentials. Meanwhile, Steven is left with crumbs. Well, at least he has his Firestone. Little do we know that 2 seasons later, Steven Stone is gonna make his comeback where he truly redeems his character after his lackluster showing in Advanced Generation. It's time for the Mega Evolution special episodes where Steven first appears helping Marin, who got stuck in a tree. When Alon sees Steven's Mega Stick Pin, the young trainer challenges him to a battle. It's a shiny Mega Metagross versus Mega Charizard X. Alon surprisingly holds his own against Steven, even landing some powerful hits. Unfortunately, attention seeker Lysander stops the battle midway for literally no reason. It's here where Lysander reveals to Alon and to us, the viewers, that Steven Stone has actually become the champion of the Hoenn region. Wallace who? Anyways, Lysander recognizes that Steven could be an asset to his research, so he reveals to him that he wants to gather Mega Evolution energy for peace in the world. Coincidentally, Steven aims to search for more stones, which leads him to study Mega Stones and the Mega Evolution phenomenon. This means that Steven and Lysander's goals are aligned, or so it seems. Steven leads the gang to this high mountaintop place where he and Alon use their keystones to open the path that leads to the Giant Rock, a mysterious rock that is said to be possessing immense amounts of primal energy. Did someone say rock? Where's the rock? I need to see it! Suddenly, Mega Rayquaza comes flying down from the sky, destroying almost everything. Not even Steven nor Alon's Pokemon can do anything to stop it. When the chaos is over, they notice that the giant rock somehow disappeared. At this point, there's nothing they could do but move on. So after detecting a powerful energy near Rustboro City, Steven and friends go straight there. Turns out Rayquaza's Spectacle has awakened both Groudon and Kyogre, both having undergone Primal Reversion, making them even more powerful than before. Steven and Lysander figure out that both legendaries might be heading towards the giant rock, so the group decides to go to the place where powerful energy was found earlier. The giant rock eventually pops out, and Groudon and Kyogre start fighting to take possession of it. With the intention of protecting the giant rock, Steven and Metagross lend a helping hand, or should I say, 4 helping hands, to serve as intervention. Metagross manages to land a great hit on Kyogre, but the box art legends are still miles above them. When Alon gets caught in the crossfire between Groudon and Kyogre, Steven comes in to protect him and Marin from the dangerous debris. Lysander's team then captures the giant rock, informing Steven that it's best that his team takes it to the Kalos region for further research. When Alon also leaves for the Kalos region, Steven offers Marin a ride there after showing insistence of wanting to see him. In Kalos, Steven listens carefully to what Lysander has to say about his research, still in the dark about Lysander's true intentions. Later, Steven will find out that Chespy has fallen into a coma and would have to stay at Lysander's laboratory to recover. In the main saga of Pokemon XY, Ash meets a new rival Sawyer, who reveals that he's got some connections with Steven Stone, with the champion even giving him an autograph and some wise trainer advice. He would later even give Sawyer his very own Keystone, allowing him to Mega Evolve into Sceptile. After the Kalos League, Team Flare begins its operation of taking over the world. When Serena, Marin, and Professor Sycamore try to infiltrate Lysander Labs to rescue Chespy, Mabel threatens to literally unalive them. Good thing that Steven is there to save them. He allows Serena and friends to advance into the lab as he single-handedly deals with Mabel and her underlings. The unfashionable scientist offers him to join Team Flare like he's some stupid person. Maybe if you guys named yourselves Team Rocks or something, then he'd definitely take the bait. So Steven just settles this with Flashcan. Later, Steven makes an escape route for Serena's gang, successfully completing their mission of retrieving Chespy. However, the giant rock absorbs Chespy, causing Steven to worry, concluding that anything can happen at this point. Steven then bands with Serena, Marin, and Sycamore as they meet up with Ash's gang to rescue Chespy and stop the giant rock from colliding with the Sundial in Anastar City, lest the world could end right then and there. Soon, Diantha and the Kalos gym leaders arrive to help. Steven teams up with his co-champion to make a path for Ash and Alon to get to Chespy. Thanks to everyone's efforts, Chespy is rescued and Zygarde is summoned to end Lysander's life and dreams of creating a new world. Steven's XY journey ends with him doing what he enjoys most, researching rocks, specifically the giant rock, bringing along Sawyer, who is more than happy to assist. Here comes Pokemon Journeys. Ash Ketchum is just minding his own business when he gets interrupted by Wallace. What's even funnier is that Ash fails to remember who Wallace is. But as soon as the contest master mentions Steven Stone, Ash is quick to remember him to be the Hoenn champion. I guess Steven did leave a more significant impression on Ash than Wallace did. Wallace even claims that he's able to hold his own against Steven in a battle. Obviously they were champions of Hoenn at some point, but this only makes Ash want to battle Steven more than ever. Fortunately for Ash, and unfortunately for Steven, this wish is about to come true. Shortly after Ash defeats Raihan for the final spot in the Masters 8, the remaining members of the Masters 8 have been revealed. And sitting at number 3 is the heir to the Devon Corporation, champion of the Hoenn region, our favorite stone collector, obsessed with rocks, Steven Stone. At this point, Steven had probably just finished studying the giant rock and cleaning up the remnants of Team Flare, so he wouldn't really know for sure how prepared he is for this tournament. Nevertheless, it's still an amazing achievement to reach 3rd place, even outranking Lance, who was last year's runner-up. During the opening day of the tournament, Steven politely makes his entrance on his signature light green glowing pedestal. The Masters 8 is the ultimate bloodbath of the strongest trainers in the Pokemon world, and in the first round he is matched up against none other than Ash Ketchum, and both trainers are more than looking forward to battling each other. Will Steven be the one to end Ash's journey in the Masters 8? We'll find out soon, since Ash vs Steven is scheduled to be the last battle of the quarterfinals. Steven spends most of his time watching the other people's battles. He mentions to Lance that he's got history with Alon and that he hopes that Alon won't get overwhelmed by Leon. He also makes some interesting battle commentaries.
Aurora! Who knew Light Screen and Reflect, 2 defensive moves, could be combined like that?
Like, dude, that's literally your strategy in the games. Anyways, this brain-dead comment might just be telling us that Steven could actually not be in his A-game during this tournament. The inevitable has eventually come and Steven is now faced with Ash in a 3v3 battle. Steven starts out strong with Metagross against Ash's Dracovish. Metagross is gaining the upper hand thanks to agility and psychic, but seeing the immense amount of damage that Fish's Red may deal, Steven opts to switch out Metagross for Aggron. Steven declares that he entered the World Coronation Series to become the strongest trainer in the world, so I guess he actually is in his A-game today. Even Diantha says that she's never seen Steven this fired up before. Turns out the switch is a good decision as Aggron is able to shut down the threat of Fish's Ren and finish Dracovish off with a heavy slam. Next, Ash calls for Gengar. The ghost Pokemon quickly burns Aggron with Will-O-Wisp, severely reducing the damage done by its physical moves. This scene does look familiar. One Dazzling Gleam later, and Aggron collapses because of burn damage. It's honestly embarrassing. Cradily now enters the field, and this Pokemon is the star of Steven's team. It skillfully uses Ingrain, allowing the fossil to survive the battle much longer. Cradily immobilizes Gengar with his tentacles, and Steven proceeds to call for Meteor Beam. Gengar counters it with his Dazzling Gleam, freeing Gengar from the trap. Finally, Cradily just whips Gengar Shadow Ball and finishes off the ghost Pokemon. This leaves Ash with his 3rd and final Pokemon, Pikachu. Cradily is more than alive and kicking it thanks to Ingrain, but Pikachu is so tactful at using his Electro Web to lock Cradily's Power Whip, allowing the yellow mouse to win the battle with his super effective Iron Tail. Finally, it's Champion Ace versus Champion Ace as Steven sends out his partner Metagross. Steven calls for Mega Evolution, further increasing the speed, power, and intelligence of Metagross. This guy just evades all of Pikachu's attacks and retaliates with powerful Meteor Mash. This battle is completely lopsided in Steven's favor, as Pikachu could do nothing to hit Metagross and avoid its attacks. With nothing left to lose, Ash unleashes his ultimate weapon, Pikachu's exclusive Z move, 10 million Volt Thunderbolt. Mega Metagross easily dodges the first 3 lightning attacks, but this is where Steven makes his fatal mistake. He gets too excited, or greedy, and tries to attack Pikachu from behind with Metagross's Flash Cannon. Unfortunately for him, Pikachu's Z-move blocks it, allowing the 3 remaining lightning bolts to electrocute Metagross. The tides have suddenly turned in Ash's favor as Pikachu lands the finishing blow, Iron Tail. How poetic that the Steel-type move learned by Pikachu in Hoenn is the very move that defeated the Steel-type specializing champion of the Hoenn region. With that, Steven's adventures in the Masters 8 has come to an end, at least for this year. With not much else left to do in Winden, Steven decides to leave together with Alon and Iris, but not before telling Ash that he believes that Ash is capable of defeating Cynthia in the next round. Steven is right, because Ash indeed defeats Cynthia in the 2nd round. Steven's final appearance in the Pokemon anime is when he's back in Devon Corporation watching Ash's battle with Leon, with the look on his face saying that things will be different next year. He, Steven Stone, is going to win the next season's Masters 8 and become the next World Monarch. And that's it for Steven's complete history. Steven is definitely someone who displayed an amazing amount of skill, strength, and intelligence. Well, besides that. People who grew up with the Generation 3 games or the Generation 6 anime will always remember how iconic Steven is as a Pokemon character. In fact, he's my all-time favorite champion in the Pokemon universe. Thank you all so much for watching Steven's complete history. Now go outside and touch some rocks. And as always, it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.